All right, today is September 29th, 2021. This is the Kubernetes CSI implementation meeting. So let's start with our usual release agenda, starting with 122. I think we had a couple of outstanding things that still needed some wrapping up. Have we released the volume populator repos yet?
Oh, I was, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I walked through all of the steps except for the last one with Shing. I have the change log, I have the branch, and I'm making the tag today.
Awesome.
And Shing gave me the template for how to do the release tag. I just haven't actually filled that out yet.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. Looking forward to that. I think next thing was for CSI proxy. I think we're just trying to figure out how to promote the binary from the staging bucket to the release bucket. I'll have to follow up with Jing on the status of that. Next is host path. Have we released a new host path driver with 122 configs?
Yeah, there's a new patch release that has gone out already.
Cool. And we've also added the 122 CI and pull jobs.
Yeah, Mauricio took care of that.
Awesome. Great. And this is updated on all the sidecars too, is that right?
I don't remember the details off my top of my head.
Okay, let's we can double check with Mauricio on that. And then I think the last part was to update our docs site with 122 major 122 features that went in. I think this was something I was asking Jing to take care of. I'll follow up with her offline. So I think that's it for 122. Moving on to 123. We have a couple of PRs that are waiting for review. I guess we can go down this. This looks sort of generic, maybe not necessarily related to CSI, but I'll take a look at this. Next, we have, looks like some changes in volume manager. Node publish. Okay, it looks like this has been, I guess, unclear about the status of this, but looks like the PR author closed this. Next up is ephemeral storage usage gathering changes. I think looks like Jing is working on this. So I think I'll let Jing do a final review. And then Patrick, you have the scheduler change.
Yeah, the last thing that we were discussing was the error message itself. And after some back and forth, I'm now using the approach suggested by, what's his full name? AHG. So
Abdullah.
Yeah. it mirrors what I
Okay.
it's a bit closer to what I originally thought would be appropriate. I have one question about this PR. So the original goal was to get it in already for 1.22, and I was trying to get it into merge it in the state where that potentially can be backported. I now have another open PR about the utility code that we wanted to have for this name concatenation and the ownership check. So right now, this name concatenation with volume, pod name plus volume name is repeated in all the different places where it's needed, including this PR here. And we had this idea that this should be some utility function instead somewhere. And I have created a new PR today, basically implementing that idea, but it touches the same files as this PR that we are now looking at. So I was wondering whether we should try to get this PR in as is, and then do the other changes with the utility code. That was the original plan. Because one would have been for 1.22 and the other for 1.23, but now it's both fairly close together. So I could also take the other commits and move that here. I'm undecided.
I think it's fine to keep it separate.
Okay. Yeah, then we just need to get it in because it basically blocks further progress. Or well, not necessarily. I could probably take the parts that can be merged with the utility codes and split that into individual PRs that make sense and can be merged independently. Because this one here, basically, so many approvers from different areas, kubelet, scheduler, SIG storage, that it basically has been blocked for quite a while, and not necessarily just because we were discussing details of it. Sometimes it just didn't get the necessary attention to move forward.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, we can keep it this as is, and I'll take a look at the thing change again today.
Okay.
Cool, thank you. All right, so that's PRs that need some attention. There's some more PRs that need attention. I think, Patrick, we just talked about those. I think, Xing, you have one here.
I still need a reviewer for this utility code. Someone who gives me a thumbs up for the new function itself. And the PR currently basically fixes up all the other code locations in a single PR, but that means it touches scheduler, kubelet, controller manager. And I think it might be easier to merge it by splitting it up, given my past experience with the mixing of kubelet and scheduler. So if I can get some preliminary okay to the proposed API, I probably will split it up into, I don't know, a standalone PR for just for utility code, and then the different areas, scheduler, controller manager, and get those merged later when. Well, anyway, just perhaps look at the PR and give me your feedback what the best approach is, and I'll reformat it accordingly.
Okay, sounds good to me. Thank you. Let's see. And then Xing, you added these items.
This is the you remember there was someone who wanted to donate the NVMF CSI driver. We talked about it, and he said he is willing to help maintain it. So he opened this issue here. I think he needs to be a member first. Basically, there's another issue. They're waiting for you because I already plus one. The other second one. Does he need to become member first before he can donate that?
Okay.
So this one, basically just need two plus ones.
Okay, sounds good. All right. I'll take a look at that. Okay,
Can you
going
go back to the project? So the way that it's tracking, it's a little different because if you look at this one, all the features that we are working on the leftmost but it's not like not. It's a little different, right? So in the past we have something in the middle. I mean, so
yeah. So I think this is what Jing put together.
Yeah.
And so I think this is the way she was thinking about doing things. But if you prefer the other way, we can go back.
I don't know if the features to do should be in the middle. That's meaning that otherwise, like we're not really tracking them, just features to do always. So I don't know what we're doing with that. It's like we are only looking at the PRs now, not really tracking the features as we are doing in the past. That's my question.
I think we should still, for like the committed features, we should create like a project
separate
board.
ones, right? I think I think she probably added the caps, looks like.
Yeah.
I think some of those already should have a project board instead, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we can have a project board and replace it instead of having the cap there. Like the cap is just one item that will be as part of the project. So
okay.
But yeah, I think basically everyone that owns a project, go ahead and create a project board for it if one doesn't already exist, and then we can replace it here.
Yeah, maybe the title features to do, should that be like feature in progress or something, or otherwise it's like nobody will actually go follow up with them.
Yeah. We can even put them in progress.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I think I probably moved the Ceph one, but after that one, I was like not sure what to do with the rest. So
yeah, so let's do that now. Let's go down this features list and figure out which ones are actually targeted for 123. We have this one, honor reclaim policy. That one is in.
This one probably doesn't really need well, we can create a project board, it's fine. We can have PR.
If it's small enough that it doesn't need a project board, that's also fine. You can put individual
but this
PRs
one maybe have multiple PRs as well. Like maybe it has, this one is relatively small. It's fine, probably just without a board. Yeah, probably a couple PRs we can just add to the same item.
Yeah. Looks like Portworx CSI migration, that's also a target.
It's probably fine just to have just one that does not need a board probably.
This one, pod FS group on mount.
Does this already?
I think
this was
alpha. Yeah, this was alpha last release. I think we're moving it to beta for 123. I think Chang, is this something that you're working on?
Yeah. In terms of, do you have any recommendations on whether I should create a project versus just tracking the tasks in the feature in the feature issue itself?
I
do have a few. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So here in this feature issue, you have like a list of tasks.
There's some there. Oh, I guess it's just the regular cap stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'll create a separate project then.
Okay. Cool. All right. Next is non-graceful node shutdown. I think we're still doing.
There's maybe already a board. I'll check, and that one is kind of So we are. I think she also added the graceful one there. I think right now we are mainly looking at the graceful. Right now I think this is the one.
Although I think this is a little different. So I think the thing that I think we wanted to work on this release was getting the existing feature to work.
This is the pod priority one is, I think the cap is merged. So 1.20. Yeah, I think that feature is actually already merged in 1.22. So this one is going to replace the existing, the graceful no shutdown feature. So they're both existing. So it's like you can do either, you cannot have both. You can have either one or the other. And the pod priority is like an enhancement of the original graceful no shutdown. So I think Herman is not here either. I think Herman is also talking to this guy who's working on that in SIG node. I think Jean says she's going to ping Herman, but I don't know what's the status, because I think the most important thing is the port status, right? I don't know what is their
Yeah.
plan, but they should know that because we already told them.
Yeah.
That's our
Okay.
finding.
I'll add it to the 123 list. I think it sounds like Jing and Hamant are both actively discussing with SIG on this.
Okay.
Next we have the auto remove stateful set PVCs. I think that's also in progress. Recover from resize is also tracked for 123. Is Hamant here?
He's not.
Okay. Allow CSI drivers to opt into volume ownership. Did this get in or not?
It's also in. This is targeting GA. So we have 3 FS group features. They're all in.
Okay.
2 targeting
Cool.
GA, 1 targeting beta.
I was confused because it says track no.
Oh. Yeah, maybe because it's out of tree. Is this out of tree change? I don't remember.
Maybe. Okay. Data populators is also being tracked.
Yeah, that's there.
The blog.
No, this is just
sorry,
like a general tracking. I think you have a,
you
have a board, right? You have project board for this. You can replace.
I did create a project board. It hasn't been used recently.
Yeah, but I mean, we can actually like this
I can update it and bring it back up to date. Yeah.
Okay.
And while we're talking about populators, I'll mention I just did the releases, so they're done.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Next, generic ephemeral volumes. We're targeting GA. And then what is this? A CRI change. Unsure about that. Okay.
Yeah. Is that ours? The container run?
Yeah, I'm not sure. This looks like SIG node.
Yeah, does not look like ours.
It has not been updated since for 4 years now.
Yeah, I don't know
this
why
one, I'm not sure why this one's here. Okay.
But is the voting house not there? Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll
I
add
can
an item.
Okay,
Cool.
yeah. Okay.
Anything else that we're targeting 123 that is not here?
We actually have that in our agenda. If you look at the September 15th, we actually have everything, so we can just go through that quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's all there.
Okay. Cool. All right. So I think action item for next week is if you are owning one of these features, and there's like a lot of tasks that need to be tracked, go ahead and create or reuse the project boards for it, and then we can replace these enhancement issues with the actual project boards.
There is a board already for generic ephemeral inline volumes.
Okay.
We already have one, yeah. Just
yeah, there is not a whole lot of it to do right now. It's with pending PRs that we talked about, and then the actual transition to GA. I think that's all that's needed. Yeah, that one.
Cool. I will this. Cool. All right. So, okay, so that's it. I think we also at the same time got some project updates from folks. Are there any other topics that anyone wants to talk about today?
I can give a short update on storage capacity tracking and autoscaling. So basically the idea that I proposed a while back about configuring by the admin a CSI storage capacity object and then making sure that the autoscaler uses that to get information about a non-existent node. That actually worked. I have a pending PR that I discussed with this week or last week in the SIG autoscaling meeting. There is one open issue around scaling up too much because the node comes up and the driver is not immediately ready. But that is similar to the situation that they have with GPUs, and we know how to fix it. The overall feedback at this point is that configuring this correctly will be a bit tricky because it depends on knowledge about the CSI driver. It depends about knowledge about the cluster and about the autoscaler, how it needs to be reconfigured. So yeah, I have written up a document in that PR. And if we have someone who wants to look at it from the storage side and has some ideas how this might be used in practice or how it could be improved, that would be very welcome.
Yes, please ping me on that and I'll take a look.
I'm not sure if it's actually doable to make it simpler because it's really a question of having several logically independent components. The CSI driver shouldn't need to know about autoscaler. It also shouldn't need to know about hardware in the cluster. It ultimately falls onto the admin to put all these pieces together. But yeah, perhaps there's some idea how some parts could be automated.
Yeah,
I'll
sounds
send you
good to me.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for taking a look at this. All right. Any other topics?
Hey, Michelle, can you cancel the CSI implementation meeting for the QCon week? I think Sad
Okay.
canceled that from the calendar, but I think you are the organizer, right? So
Okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
okay, thanks.
All right. I think if there's no other topics, we'll end for today. Thank you.
Thank you.